What is up, fans and viewers? Turkey Day, Thanksgiving 2012. At last, we are here on a fine day, a fine Thursday morning, right before I am about to go spend time with a large portion of my family, eat some good food for Thanksgiving. But of course, as I promised, we have, lo and behold, Fan Mail Episode 10, the Thanksgiving edition, where I had people send in questions to me for Thanksgiving. Some questions around the theme of Thanksgiving and also some outside of the typical Thanksgiving theme. As I promised, it is a dual fan mail. So we got, if I can put these in front of the camera, we got both our 360 and our PS3 controller right here. And I think the last fan mail was in September because, as I said, in October it was hard for me to make my schedule work with all the things that were going on, new games and such. So this one will be the new one, the new fan mail. So I'm going to start with my PS3 questions, and I gotta find the message box. There's a shit ton of friend requests. I gotta sort through them. So let's see. Friend request, probably like the most recent friend request was, the last friend request was 2011, so a lot of these are probably old. I should probably delete some of these, to be quite honest. Just gotta find the first question. Is it this one? I think it might be. Alright, we'll do this. This will be our first question. We can turn it up a little bit if there's anything to listen to. I don't really think there is. Alright. The first question for the Thanksgiving fan mail, episode 10, is from Black Spidey 1010, and his subject is playthrough. If you do Little Big Planet, can I join you because my subs keep sending me PMs about asking you for a playthrough? I don't know who this guy is, but I don't know about Little Big Planet. I mean, people have been asking me for PS3 exclusives, because I do a majority of my games, I will admit, on the 360. It can get kind of stale in some ways, but as far as the PS3 goes, I don't know. I mean, Little Big Planet, I think I tried it at someone's house one time, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of those types of games, like those creative, it just seems too kiddish kind of thing. I think they came out with the newest one, I think it had what to do with racing, was it? But the series in general just isn't for me, so unfortunately Little Big Planet is out of the question. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be doing a playthrough of that. But if there are other PS3 games you would like me to play, just send me a message and I'll consider it. What's this guy's name? Baseball Boy 2036, and he says, do you think Jak 4 would ever be made, and if so, do you think it would be a more adult-oriented, it'd be given an M rating? Well, pretty interesting because I'm sure he knows that Jak and Daxter is my favorite game series of all time. I started playing the series in 2001 when the PS2 was first launched. It was like a deal, it was a promotion. If you buy the PS2, you get a free game. The free game I got was Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. And ever since then, the series has been my favorite. I have great memories of playing that game in New Jersey with my friends. It was probably the greatest memories of playing video games I've ever had playing those games. And pretty much the last Jak and Daxter game came out in 2004 with Jak 3. They did have Jak X Combat Racing, which was a racing game which I didn't take too kindly to. I actually did it for April Fool's Day, like an April Fool's Day playthrough of this year, because I just didn't like the game and I thought it would be funny if I kind of shit on it and made fun of it a little bit. But it just, there was no, there was a story to it, but it was all racing. There was no, none of the classic Jak and Daxter platforming gameplay was in the game. So I was frustrated by that. So I've been waiting for a Jak 4 for a long freaking time, alright? I'm going to be quite honest. Naughty Dog, who made the game series, I've been hoping and praying and crossing my fingers. For years they've been focusing on the Uncharted series. They've come out with 3 Uncharted games. And now, as most people know, they are coming out with a new game series. I don't know if it's going to be a series, but they are going to have a new game called The Last of Us. Some post-apocalyptic kind of survival game. And if I don't know if anyone knows, but in Game Informer, there was actually an article on The Last of Us when it was first announced. And there was an article by Evan Wells, who's the co-founder of Naughty Dog, and he was explaining to Game Informer that they were actually hardcore thinking of doing a new Jak and Daxter title. They actually sat down, after finishing Uncharted 3, they actually legitimately sat down and started thinking through the parameters of making a new Jak and Daxter game. They made sketches, they were actually serious about making this game, but unfortunately, they thought that the direction it was going would be a disservice to the fans. They didn't think it would be the game that we all wanted, so they pretty much just put the project, I don't know if they quit, I don't think they quit. I believe Evan Wells left it at, we're not leaving Jak and Daxter forever, but we just got to move on, and maybe someday we'll come back to it. But it's kind of a shame, to be quite honest, because Insomniac, who made the Ratchet & Clank series, Ratchet & Clank came out, their first 3 games came out at the same time that Naughty Dog's first Jak games came out. At the time, the two were competing, and Insomniac had no problem releasing more Ratchet & Clank games. They released 2 big Ratchet & Clank games on the PS3. Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, and then there's also All for One, but that's not really a classic Ratchet & Clank game. And I think ironically, there's another Ratchet & Clank game, Full Frontal Assault, coming out next week, I think. I saw it, I don't know if it was a prank on Twitter. Insomniac wrote that it was coming out next week. I gotta do some more research, but I think Full Frontal Assault is coming out next week. But that just goes to show you, even though Insomniac made 3 Resistant games, 3 new titles, just like Naughty Dog made 3 new titles with Uncharted, they were still able to go back to Ratchet & Clank, and I've played and completed Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, so I can tell you that the gameplay of those games is a tad bit different, but it pretty much is the same as the classic Ratchet & Clank gameplay from the earlier years. So, for me, it doesn't make sense as to why why they couldn't make a new Jak and Daxter game. So yes, I think Jak 4 has the potential to be made. There were talks about it in the Game Informer magazine when they were talking about The Last of Us. And that's interesting that he brings up the M rating thing, because, one of the things they wanted to make Jak more mature, and Daxter more mature, Jak's sidekick. So I think upping them, because I think they were saying, they're like, oh, we want to use the knowledge we've gained from the Uncharted series. We want to use that on the Jak and Daxter series. So let's up the graphics, obviously, and let's try to put a more mature tone to the game franchise. And I think when they stepped back and looked at what Jak and Daxter was becoming, they kind of were like, nah, I don't think this is going to work. So, really unfortunate. I would have supported a project like that, but I think for a game, let me just say this, okay? And I know this kind of parlays into the big rant video I made a couple of days ago on Halo 4 and why it sucked. For a company to step back and say, you know what, if we make this new game, and if we make these changes, this game is not going to register well with our hardcore fans. It may register good with some people, but for the fans who have stuck with our series and are expecting something from this game, we don't think it's going to register well, so we'd rather take more time making the game instead of just pushing it out, because tons and tons of fans are asking about a new Jak and Daxter game, myself included. So I know Naughty Dog has a lot of pressure on them to make this new game, but at the same time, I think they want to move on. Again, they want to try to do other things before the PS3's life cycle ends inevitably soon. So I'm not sure. I want a new Jak 4, like a new, Jak and Daxter game, Jak 4 to come out. I just don't know when it's going to be. Obviously, I'll still be gaming them, hopefully, by the time they actually make it. I don't know if they will, but I'm hoping by the time The Last of Us is completed, once The Last of Us is done, I don't know if they're going to make a sequel to the game or if they're going to try with Jak and Daxter. I honestly don't know. But my hope is that they do try to make a new Jak and Daxter after The Last of Us. And if not, I don't know. I think, honestly, I'm going to say this. If they don't make a new Jak and Daxter after they complete The Last of Us, I honestly think Jak and Daxter is never going to come back. It's disappointing. I want Naughty Dog to go back to the series, but it's just, it's going to be, it is what it is. I mean, the game came out almost 10 years, oh, it was 10 years ago. They had the HD collection a couple of months back, so it does tell you that they still remember the series, but I'm just kind of frustrated that the game has not kind of jumped to the next level. It's a series that has unbelievable potential. It won world records. The Guinness Book of World Records gave Jak and Daxter awards for Jaks 2 and 3 for great storytelling, seamless game world. It received freaking rewards up the wazoo, and I could go on and on. So I'm hoping that at some point I can get, you know, that kind of game in the future. But if Naughty Dog wants to move on, then that's their opinion. So I don't know about the M rating. I think if Naughty Dog were to make a game, they might hover around the M rating, but I think it's really going to turn. If knowing Naughty Dog, they're going to want to keep Jak and Daxter original. And I don't know if it's going to get an M rating as a result. They probably will keep it at the teen rating. Because look at Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank didn't move up to an M-rated game. It's actually an E. Ratchet and Clank Crack in Time is actually an E-rated game as opposed to its earlier predecessors, which were teen. So I think that's kind of interesting. You think? So all right, that was a lot for that one question. Okay. Question 1, are you a Jak and Daxter fan? Well, I think that last question pretty much summed that up. Question 2, will you buy and do playthroughs of WWE 13? Now, I think someone asked this in the last fan mail. I'm not a fan of wrestling games. I mean, the whole arena of wrestling games just aren't for me, unfortunately. I've never been a fan of them, and it just doesn't appeal to me. The whole, you know, I don't know, Hulk Hogan, I don't even know the names of John Cena, I think, or some names. My friend Top Dog at one point brought a DVD over of some matches, and I was like, this is kind of cool, but I could get bored very easily. It's not something I'm interested in. Two of my friends, Phil and John, actually have a series that they commentate for wrestling, and they also do simulations for this game. So I'd say if you're interested in wrestling, go check out their content. I have it in my other channel section, obviously. But I'm not into wrestling stuff, so if you are, you can go check their stuff out. But I don't do wrestling stuff on the channel. It's just something I'm not interested in. And I know people have, you know, communities around it. Oh, did you see this match? Did you see this match? You know, that happened, this happened, this happened. It's like, man, I'm not really a fan of that. I don't buy the pay-per-view and watch that. So, fortunately, Yusuf, I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. All right. Oh, it's Yusuf again. Will you do Uncharted 2 playthrough? Not sure. Again, as I said with the PS3 games, I have to kind of step back and look at how my gaming schedule is going to go for the rest of the year. I know next week there aren't many games coming out, except I think a new Ratchet and Clank game, as I mentioned. So I got to kind of get my parameters and see if that's going to be done. You know, how that's going to go. Maybe in early 2013, but I've heard that in early 2013 you've got like an insane amount of games which were pretty much supposed to come out in late 2012, but all got pushed back. There's a new Gears of War, there's I think The Last of Us, there's GTA 5, Dead Space 3, Crysis 3, I don't know, I'm thinking there's a lot more. Oh, the new Bioshock Infinite, which was actually supposed to come out in October of this year, but didn't. So there's a lot of games coming out, and I don't really know how I'm going to have time for it. It's going to be different, and it's going to be different me adjusting with the HD recording device, which I'm going to eventually have, so that's going to be interesting. So, yes, maybe Uncharted 2 in the future, but I'm not quite certain about it at this point. Not that many questions on the PS3. It's okay, though. The last question, one question. Why you so epic from the Conflict Lotion? Conflict Lotion? I guess I guess people have conflicts over their lotion. They're in the shower and it fucking explodes all over their body or something. I don't know. That question can never be answered, my friend. Alright, that's all the PS3 questions, and now, in epic fashion, we shall switch over here to the Xbox, which I haven't touched in like 20 years. Okay, I actually have a lot more 360 questions. Alright. Let's make sure the brightness is okay for this. There we go. Okay. First question is from, actually let me turn up the volume on this as well. First question is from Cloud012345. Isn't that the combination for the Spaceballs thing? What camera do you use and how much did it cost? Because I want to start making videos. It would be helpful if you can response, please, thank you. I use the Sony DSC-HX1 CyberShot digital camera. It's what I'm using right now. I don't know if you've heard the announcement that I've been making on the channel, but I'm actually this weekend, in 2 days pretty much, I will be purchasing an Elgato game capture device for HD recording, because pretty much I've decided that the way of YouTube and the way things are going is pointing towards HD recording. The biggest YouTubers out there who I'm competing with use those HD recording devices, and me using this camera, which yeah, I get good quality off of it, but some of the brightness the issues I have with brightness and sometimes the quality, you can't read the text, it's a drawback. And when people go watch my playthroughs and they see that, it kind of detracts from the playthrough in a way, I have to say. So I personally, if I was to go to a video and see someone using a camera, I wouldn't be turned off. I mean, hell, when I first saw my friend Phil's videos, the camera's all off-centered, and I didn't really give a shit. I was just looking for the quality. I didn't really care about, you know, how it was angled and all that shit. But a lot of people do, I'm going to say that. So I think getting this HD device would cater towards that. How much did my camera cost? It cost about $400 plus, you know, taxes and all the other, you know, equipment, memory cards. 8 GB memory cards actually cost over $100, unfortunately. So yeah, that's basically, in a nutshell, my camera. I mean, $400. I mean, it's kind of weird. An Elgato game capture costs about $150. My camera costs $400. Now, they're not for the same purpose. Elgato game capture is probably entirely, if you're buying a device like that, it's for recording gameplay. When people buy a camera like this, they're not going to buy it so they can fucking put it on a tripod and record their TV. Most people don't do that. Me being the exception, and obviously my friend Phil, but yeah, I mean, the camera, it's good because, you know, the clips aren't that large. Most of the time when I do playthroughs, I cut them up into 11-minute clips, as most people know. And then the files aren't too large for YouTube to deal with, so when I do a playthrough, I can mass upload like 30 videos. Again, sometimes people don't like that because that's a lot of videos to watch, and the videos don't usually get a lot of views. So I'm hoping for the future I can focus on quality instead of quantity, because I think that's what people want. But if you're interested in getting into gameplay and you want to do it for the camera, and you don't want to do Elgato game capture and some sort of, you know, Hauppauge and any of the other HD recording devices, then go with this camera, the Sony DSC-HX1. I think they actually came out with a new version. I was looking at it last year, the HX100. It's basically, the features are changed, but I think it's pretty much the same camera except for a little bit of a quality boost. But it doesn't really look that different. I tested it out at a Sony store a couple of months ago, and it wasn't all that changed. So yep, that's my camera, and that's all the information about it. I think this might be, what is this? I forget what this is. It's a voice message.
Message all friends and recent players. I'm hoping.
Oh no, it's this shit again. Oh, I forget to delete these messages. What is this? Oh, okay. Okay, I guess I answered his question or something. How bad is it getting where you are? How bad is it getting where you... Does he mean where? Oh, that's the Reaper, but... Is he talking about how bad it is trying to get to where I am now with my YouTube channel and stuff? I don't know. It's been somewhat of a struggle. I've been trying my best to please the fans and stuff, and, you know, every once in a while I'll hit a roadblock, but most of the time I've been trying to stick it in. Most recently, I've been kind of depressed with the channel just because the views haven't been that well, and there's just been a lot of controversial things going on with the channel, and I haven't been able to get in a good place with it, with the footage. I'm hoping in a couple of weeks that'll change with the HD device that I'm going to be getting, and also some other gameplay changes I'll be making. So, hopefully people like that, and we'll move on together, so. What is it? I think the 3 is an E, so it's Renegade, right?
Renegade. Yes, it's just spelled with like different things. Alright, hey, it's Renegade from YouTube. Can't wait for Halo 4 and would love to play multiplayer or anything really on Halo 4. Like I said in the comments, I'm going to the midnight... Oh, this is when Halo 4 was coming out for the first time. Alright. Drake's Fortune. He wants to be my friend. Alright, I'll delete this. Oh no, wait, this is from my friend, Angel the Fallen. He's like, oh, I'm back. He's saying, oh, I'm back after a long time, blah, 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 blah. My God, what the hell's going on with my voice? I saw your videos about Halo 4 campaign. Very funny and nice job. Thank you, Oz0117. It's a comment, by the way. It is a comment. Good job. Is Halo 4 good or bad because I can't decide? Oh, well, here we go. I might as well just make my rant video about Halo 4 all over again. Well, I should probably redirect you to that big Halo 4 rant video I made, which people are exploding about, saying I'm an idiot, I should go back to Call of Duty, even though I hate Call of Duty. Yeah, I had some strong feelings. Basically, it just boils down to Halo 4 is kind of catered to this first-person shooter Call of Duty audience. It's kind of gone away from its roots. Yeah, there are some aspects I like about the game, but there are a lot of things that kind of favor the game in a bullshit kind of way. And I don't like it that much. I'm not going to say I'm never going to play it again. I think people got the wrong impression from that video. I'm still going to play Halo 4, and I'm still going to do HD recording of it because I'm still good at the game. It's just little things that frustrate me that people abuse in the game. If you can get past them, the game's actually kind of fun, but getting past them isn't always the easiest thing. That was my point, so... Drake Fortune, cool playthrough. It's solid fantasy, by the way. A big DSP fan. Oh, okay, thank you. Are you joining Phil on AC3 today? Nope, that never happened. Do you want to play GTA 4 original? I need to do Fly the Co-op. Well, actually, I need to do that achievement too, but you can't invite people in a ranked lobby, so that's unfortunately never going to work. Never mind, man. Oh yeah, this was that was Corchado. We were talking about the zombie stuff. I love you. I actually know this guy. I know him in real life. He's being a dumbass by writing that message. Alright, Apeship Killer. I remember him. He sends in good questions. Hey man, you have said that you are a fan of Family Guy, and I was wondering what is your favorite episode and why? Also, do you think recent episodes have been as funny as older episodes? I'd say my favorite Family Guy episode is the Blue Harvest one, which is where they do a parody of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And the funniest scene I think I've ever seen in a TV show is when Han Solo, who is Peter Griffin, and Brian, who is Chewbacca, they're running across the Death Star as they're getting shot at, carrying a couch, trying to position it inside the Millennium Falcon, and then they can't get it inside the Millennium Falcon, so they just take off, and you see this little Peter Griffin just hanging off the side of the Falcon. When I first saw that, I couldn't control myself. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen in a TV show ever. Now, there are many more funny moments in Family Guy. It's one of my favorite TV shows, comedy-wise. But that moment in particular really stands out as one of the funniest moments I've ever seen. Do I think recent episodes have been funnier than the older ones? In a way, they've had their moments. I definitely think the older ones were way funnier. I think the newer ones have their funny moments, but in a sense they kind of... I think Seth MacFarlane's kind of taken a step back. I think the networks are kind of getting to him and they're kind of putting pressure on him. I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think MacFarlane's contract for Family Guy only goes to 2012. I don't know if he's re-upped the contract or anything, but last I heard it was only going to 2012, so... If not, let me know. I mean, I don't want Family Guy to get canceled, but if it starts to get less funny over the episodes, you know, it might get boring. But as of now, the episodes have been pretty solid. I mean, I haven't really had many complaints. Every once in a while, there'll be a flat joke, but for the most part, I've been enjoying it. So, alright, that's my opinion on Family Guy. And are there any games that you are looking forward to in 2013? Oh my god, what games aren't I looking forward to in 2013? Well, I'd say the biggest one out of them all is Grand Theft Auto fucking 5. I have been waiting for this game since GTA 4 came out. Oh my god, this game... See, I know with this game, alright, I'm gonna be honest, Halo 4 and Black Ops 2 and Assassin's Creed 3 were all kind of a disappointment in their own ways. I was looking forward to all three of these games because they're obviously the sequels to the big franchises I've been following. And there were many areas where I felt that the games fell flat on their faces. With GTA 5, I know Rockstar, being a fantastic game developer and producer, I just honestly think that GTA 5 is going to be an almost flawless game. I honestly think them having experience with GTA 4 and them putting all of their improvements into this game in a city, Los Santos, where I loved San Andreas. It was my favorite, just, flying the Hydra jet and blowing shit up. It was a crazy-ass fun game. And them allowing us to do that in a reimagined version of Los Santos, it's just, I can't think of anything more fun in a video game, so I'm looking forward to that game more than anything else. I'd say some of the other games like Crysis 3 and Dead Space 3, because those two games in particular were games that I actually played when I first started YouTube. I pretty much started doing playthroughs in early 2011. In January 2011, I did Dead Space 2 and Crysis 2 for playthroughs with that old crappy camcorder, if anyone remembers back to those days. And I have them as playthroughs on my channel. You can actually go find them right now. And those were the early days of YouTube when I was starting to just get adjusted. But now I'm going to get to play the sequels to these games, so I'll know what I'll have played this game on my channel, so it's going to kind of be, some deja vu. Some fans might be like, wow, I remember when you played the second version of this game, now you're playing the third one, you're going to know all the stuff, and it's kind of funny because I saw gameplay of Crysis 3, and it looks almost exactly the same as Crysis 2, which I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it's still going to be cool. And then there's also the games that got pushed to early 2013 because they couldn't get fit into the last quarter of 2012. We're talking BioShock Infinite, we're talking Gears of War Judgment. There are a lot of games, which there's a shit ton of them coming out in early 2013. I'm actually glad that they're coming out in early 2013 because I'm going to have a shit ton of free time to play with them. A year from now at this time I'm going to be very busy, so I'm glad that a lot of these big games are coming out earlier in the year as opposed to the end of the year. So those are the games, just in a nutshell, I'm looking forward to. Again, there'll be more information on them as we get farther into 2013. My friend Ayre's telling me he got Halo 4, and I guess he saw me playing Halo 3 and he thought I hated it. And the final question from Venom Menace. He says, hey Chris, it's me again, happy Thanksgiving. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too. My question is, what was your very first gaming console you had? And my last question is, what are you thankful for? Well, that's a great question to end off my Thanksgiving fan mail. The first question, my first gaming console would be either the Nintendo 64 or the computer, like the PC. I was a PC gamer for many years. I had a Nintendo 64 and I played some old Mario games on that. And then I upgraded to the PS2, and that was the Jak and Daxter era and the platforming era, which I love so much. So yeah, I was a PC gamer playing games like Age of Empires, lots of real-time strategy games. I was hardcore into that. Then with the PS2, I kind of got switched over, and then in between there was the N64 and the PS1. I did play like Spyro and stuff on the PS1. I don't have my PS1 anymore. I upgraded to the PS2, and I think I got right. I donated it to a friend. A friend was asking for it. I think my friend Anthony. I don't even know what happened to him, but he asked for it, and I supplied it to him. And the final question: what am I thankful for? I am thankful for all of the success I've had with this YouTube channel. I'm thankful for all of the fans that have put so much time into watching my content. And I'm thankful for my friends. I have a good friend, P-Dog, who I've been talking to over these months since he interviewed me for the King of Hate podcast. He's been a great friend to me, and we've talked a lot about some issues going on between us, and we've been able to really have a good time with that. And, of course, I'm thankful for your viewership. I'm trying new ways, as I've said, to bring the channel into a new light, into a new era of my, uniqueness, because I know a lot of people accuse me of copying other people. A lot of people say my content is stale. Well, the changes that I'm going to be making to the channel are going to change all of that, and I think it's going to be great. So, I'm at the limit for my video, actually. I think that worked out for the best, because this is actually our final question. So, thank you very much for all the questions you sent me on both the PS3 and Xbox. It was a great fan mail. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. I actually have to get going right now, so, yeah. Hope you guys have fun, eat a lot of turkey, stuff your face with gravy, and, Have a good one. See you for more gameplay in the future.